Hey everyone, Mad Hatter here, and today, this is something that I've been requested quite a lot, and that's an item collection guide. Today we're going to be detailing on what the item collection actually is, how you can work towards it as an early to mid-game player, because if you're going to say, you're at end game, you pretty much have an entirely complete collection already, if not mostly completed, as most free-to-play players aren't ever going to have 100% item collections completed. It's just too timely, too costly, and I mean, you can if you're really lucky, but generally it's just not going to happen, right? So yeah, that's what we're going to be detailing. I'm also going to be throwing some additional tips in there. So yeah, I will see you all in a bit. So let's begin with what is item collection. Now, as you will see within these two books, I have 78% of heroes and 95% of items. Now, these are how many, heroes and items I actually have. However, how does this contribute to anything? As you can see here on the right side of my bar here, I have an attack increase of 34.8%, defense increase of 18.1%, HP increase of 20.4%. So are these just pure stat boosts, or do I only get them on specific characters? Now, this is an account-wide boost, meaning any team, any hero will get these buffs. However, how do you obtain these buffs? If we click on a character here and we click progress, not ability. Ability details what, the actual ability of the characters is. Profile is just some, cool story about them, some additional information. Progress is where you'll see it. Now, for just obtaining Plitvis, I will obtain a 0.2% attack increase. For evolving her to 5-star, I will obtain a 0.3% attack increase. For obtaining all her awakening nodes without max limit breaking her, because max limit breaking adds additional nodes. This is just all nodes unlocked without max limit breaking. I'll get another 0.5% additional attack increase. This means, which is quite nice. Now, why does this matter exactly, right? Because 1% attack seems like a really small amount. How much would that actually change? And yeah, you're right. For early to mid game, 1% attack does essentially nothing. It's not going to have a major impact. However, what if you stack that up almost 35 times? Now we're talking, right? 35% attack. That's going to make a big difference. So the more stats you're just going to have, this is going to increase those stats even more. And not all characters will have attack increases. Erebor will have attack increases. However, some will have HP increases. Some will have defense increases, etc. Right? Different characters will provide different buffs. And the reason this is really important is because you eventually want to get all these buffs. It's going to make every single hero and every single fight you use much stronger. Even rare heroes provide them, right? Captain Evil will provide a 1% HP increase if fully evolved and all awakening nodes are unlocked. Karina will provide attack increases if fully evolved and awakening nodes are unlocked. And because he has an ascension, she'll provide an additional 0.5% attack when she's, fully ascended. Now, these are even in 1-star heroes as well, in case you don't know. 0.2% HP increase, 0.1% HP increase, 0.3% HP increase. Right, as you can see, a lot of them still provide you some nice stat buffs, and you just want to stack these. So, you'll probably already know how to get the 3-star ones, right? You simply farm evolution dungeons early on. Don't farm for collection. It's not worth it. You're going to be wasting too much time. Farm for the heroes you need, and you'll eventually build up towards collection heroes. Farm towards the heroes you need. While you're doing that, you're easily going to be fully evolving all your rare heroes, so you're going to get some nice additional collection bonuses here. Also, don't awaken every hero, because you're going to be so broke if you start doing that. Awaken the heroes you need. Use your awakening stones and legendary awakening stones in a very limited and careful manner, because early on, they take a lot of time to farm, because you can't speed up the process unless you're using gems, and using gems on it isn't really efficient for the most part, especially early on, and not without specific time-gated events. So be careful with your resources. Don't push yourself for collection early on. It's simply not worth it for character-wise. Now, what about item collection? As you'll see here, early on, you're going to be summoning for characters and weapons. And when you summon for weapons, even if you're not doing it from quests, from doing item dungeon, whenever you're doing it, from random item boxes, you're going to be getting all these weapons. And every time you click on one of these, you're going to be getting gems, right? Because for discovering new weapons. And you're going to be like, wow, this is a phenomenal gem source. I love this. And yeah, that's really what it is early game. You just get a buttload of gems from this. However, you'll notice that there's also a knowledge level button here. As you start leveling this up, it's going to increase the attack value whenever a character equips that specific weapon. So, for example, let's say I'm using Kama L. because I have the staff mastery pretty much fully leveled here, whenever Kamael equips his staff, he's not only going to gain the stats from that staff, not only the stats from my character collection, not only the stats from the rest of his gear, but he's also going to gain an additional 10% attack from just this buff, right? So as you can see, it stacks up a lot over time. Same thing for tanks, HP. They'll have essentially an 8% HP increase. Once again, I'm missing 2 shields. Those are just tedious to farm, so I haven't bothered with it. Accessory. Every single character will equip an accessory. Doesn't matter whether they're a tank, DPS, support, healer, whoever they are, they will equip an accessory. While only, some tanks, maybe some melee heroes will have shields, every character has an accessory. So this is, in my opinion, the most important one to complete, because it's going to give you the most stats spread across your team. So you can see a bunch of whole good items here, like sharpshooter, golden pocket watch, stuff like black crown ring, all the mirror accessories, minotaur necklace, mad panda brooch, and you're going to be getting a really nice amount of additional defense when equipped. And defense scales really nicely for toughness. It'll increase your survivability, especially when these accessories are already meant to either increase your survivability, damage, or both. However, the bulk of where you're going to be getting your stats is from the item collection. Now, as you can see from the side here, 52.2% attack, 25.1% defense, and 30.6% HP. Those are some major stat increases, right? And you can obtain this by obtaining item collections of items that are specific to a certain group. For example, let's look at Famous Sizzler. This is going to be a really difficult one to complete, and some people don't even have it completed yet. But you're going to need Earth Necklace, a complete RNG gated accessory, Ice Cream Ring, a complete RNG gated accessory, a Mirror Rift farmable, which you're going to get relatively easily, and another Mirror Rift farmable, which you're going to get relatively easily. And that'll increase your overall item collection HP by 0.5%. Now, these apply everywhere, anywhere on your whole party, right? They're different from the specific item collections that are in here, right? I'm just good for the sake of, preventing confusion here. I'm just going to call these item level completions, and I'm going to be calling this the item collection, okay? Item completion levels only apply to the specific item or accessory that they're attributed to, and item collections apply to everything. Okay, as you can see here, a lot of these, they're weapons you might not have seen, they're high rarity, and yeah, you essentially just build this up over time. And you'll also notice something else that's different about these. Why do they all say level 60 above them? When you're in the item completion levels, you don't see any levels. They're all just here with either a certain evolution or just different rarity. Item collection actually works differently, where you have to get an item to level 60 before it can actually be registered, and that is for the higher rarity items. Some of the lower ones, such as basics of melee battle, can just be having the items. However, as you start climbing higher and higher within the item collection, you're going to need level 60s, which is where a lot of your golden hammers are going to be expended, and it's why it's not an early to mid-game friendly activity, which is why I recommend you actually hold on to all your higher level items, simply because you don't want to have to farm for them, have to evolve them later on. Just hold on to them, don't mystery evolve them, don't use them as fodder, definitely don't do that. And if you're worried you might accidentally do that, either lock them or put them on heroes, so that way you won't accidentally do it. And you'll also notice something here very interesting, and that is hero characters EXs are in here, right? And they give the largest chunk of stats possible. For example, Agma's gun, if you have it level 60, will give you an additional 1% attack, and as you will see, those are the only ones I'm missing, right? Because they're the most tedious to get. You're not going to be able to comfortably do them because, well, you have to summon for the weapons, or you get lucky enough to get them through magic metal boxes, or get unluckily enough sometimes to get them through gacha, or if you're really lucky, you might occasionally get them from item dungeon, the monthly login box, right? Mystery evolve if you're really lucky. Don't try to, force those out of that. It's complete RNG. Sometimes you won't even get them ever. I've gotten them a couple of times. I recently got Kama LEX out of a mystery evolve, Rue EX from item dungeon and stuff, but it's complete RNG. Like, I've gotten more EXs from, doing random things than within the past couple of months than I have in like 2 years total. So it's pure RNG, none of it's guaranteed. And the way this works is you get the EX, level it up to 60, and then you'll unlock the collection bonus for it. So I'll show you here. get the EX and you could get it to 60. For example, I have Noxia's EX here. I can get it to 60 and then I'm chilling. I can do whatever I want with it beyond that point. If it's a good character's EX or just a general useful EX for raids and stuff, you should lock it and hold it until you need it. If it's a useless EX, like for example, White Snow, what you do is you get it to 60, click this little book button to see if there's a collection or knowledge that you haven't completed. Make sure to have both of them done, tick them off, and then you can extract it, right? Extract it for 300 magic medals. Now, whether this fuels your monthly epic equipment box or your limit breaking hammers, option chain stones, or legendary boxes, whatever it is, that's what it's really going to go towards. I'm not going to extract it because I don't need the magic medals at the moment. However, if you do, I recommend you do those. Only do them with EX that don't matter. And I recommend really being careful with what items you extract, because sometimes, you know, you might get these rare, difficult, hard to farm items, and before you get them to 60, you'll extract them. For example, El Pava Shield, it's not exactly rare, however, it is annoying to get for a new and mid-game player. So if you manage to get this from somewhere, hold on to it until you can get this to 60. It's not a particularly good shield, however, it costs like 2 million gold in the item shop, and that's just absolutely not worth it. So you don't want to have to do that. Just hold on to these. These are not good items. They're just items you might pick up, and they're important for collection bonuses. Same can be said for stuff like advanced shield, these random epic items. Do realize they're called epic items, not epic exclusive items. Stuff like, you know, Shun-Li's Red Lotus is an epic exclusive equipment, so we just call them EXs, but normal items are just epics, right? For example here, this Holy Sword is just a epic equipment, so it will count towards collection generally, right? A 0.5 increase for having Holy Sword. I believe that's Erendite, White Mecha Claw, and then Devil Claw something. I don't remember the names, they're irrelevant, but that's where you'll get those. So where does this all tie in with progression? The reason is because it plays the most vital role in terms of account building. I would not have these stats without item collection, right? Let me just show you something really cool here, okay? We're gonna remove all the accessories, everything from our characters, okay? You're gonna watch me as I take away everything from my characters, and you're gonna pay attention to the stats, okay? I really want you to pay attention to the stats here. We're even going to take off the X's, which means it will have 0 DPS, but because of how percentages work, you can't multiply 0 by any percentage and get anything higher. However, you're going to notice something really fun, really fun about the toughness, okay? And some of you guys will be genuinely just confused as to why that is if I have no items. And I'll explain to you in a second, right after I'm done making my Craig naked. I love to hear that. And here we go. Let's remove his relic. Come on, please get off. Craig doesn't like to be naked, it seems. Remove his cards. And hey, I just want to put out there and say, if you've been enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and let me know what other content you want to see. Join the community Discord. And once again, make sure to subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And like for the algorithm, so this video gets promoted to more players. And as you can see, we'll have 2.6 million toughness with no gear. No gear, right? This is with no gear. And you'll be like, how? You have no gear, right? So where are the percentages playing a role here? And that's with base toughness, right? As you can see, my toughness just from my item collection boosts my characters so much. You can try this. If you know can make a level 95 team that's fully like this, and you don't have the same collection bonus as me, put no gear and compare your stats to this. Whatever difference there is, I guarantee you it's pretty much going to be guaranteed because of collection bonuses, right? That's the role it's going to play here. And as you can see, I'm just going to put the gear back on here using presets. Presets are really fun. I'll probably make a video on it later, but item collection plays a big role. Here, even in Colosseum, you'll see that item collection makes a nice role. For example, look at that team filled with 3 tanks. Notice how that team isn't going to have a lot of toughness, right? And that's simply because their item collection and stats aren't that insane. It's simply put, right? A full tank team should have at least 8 million toughness comfortably. But because they don't have enough collection bonuses complete and pushed up, they don't have 8 million, and they're going to be really lacking on that end. So collection bonus will play the most, you know, stat-based role. However, your gear, how you properly build your characters, how you make, you know, your team more efficient also really matters, because it doesn't matter how much good, you know, gear you have, if item collection isn't there, and it doesn't matter how much item collection you have if your gear isn't there. So those are very important. They're two concepts that work together and matter equally as much, not separately. So that's it for the video. If you want to see even more content about this, so how are you going to be obtaining most of your early game collection? And that is primarily going to be through Rift's item dungeon, and your gacha will be giving you the forefront of your item collections early to mid game. You can't comfortably farm item dungeon because you're going to be working on evolution dungeons, so do be aware of that. Don't try to force item collection early, because it's not just, you know, oh, I only need the items and I'm good. No, there's so much expense to it. There's so much gold involved. It's like dozens and dozens and dozens of millions of gold. It's so much hammers. It's so many resources that tie into it, that even if you have the items you need, you're gonna have to evolve them. You're gonna have to get them to 60, and it's just a painful process. So that's why it's more so time consuming, and it's not really pay to win, because even if you spend, you can't speed it up. Like, I guess you can get more, you know, item collection from EXs and stuff. However, that's something that even as a free-to-play player, you're eventually going to get. Most free-to-play limitations are with your actual roster itself. For example, I don't have that many characters. I'm missing quite a few, right? At least 20 characters, and not a lot of my characters are fully limit broken, and that's simply just the limitations I have of being a free-to-play player. But item collection is less pay to win and more so just grindy and time consuming. Sure, just like with every game, it's a process you can pay to speed up, but it doesn't change a whole lot because you're still gonna have to work on other things regardless of if you spend or not. So no, item collection, it's not a pay-to-win system. It's more so a system that stops newbies and, you know, front-loaded whales from coming into the game and just spending a whole bunch, or spending, like, you know, pulling all-nighters, grinding, and then being able to surpass veterans. It's really kind of the only thing we have that stops us from getting completely power crept. So yeah, I think it's a really nice mechanic. There's definitely a better way to go about it though, like making the resources more accessible, or making it so you can do more with excess gear afterwards, because right now most of my gear just goes towards mystery evolving, or I just use it as hammers. However, once again, that comes with the gold limitations and blah 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 blah. Gold, you need it for everything, so item collection is very important. Now, hero wise, that's obviously coming from your hero gacha, and to no surprise, you're going to be pulling for characters, right? Whether, you know, you're new, whether you're a mid-game player or end-game player, there's always going to be a hero you're kind of going to need to pull for. So, which is why I recommend to be careful with who you pull for, because if you pull for the wrong characters, all you're going to end up with is a silly collection bonus that you can't really properly utilize because you don't have the resources to go for that collection bonus, and you're just going to be all sad, all frowny, and your day is going to be ruined. So do be careful regarding stuff like that. That's mainly where your character collection bonuses are going to come from. And another actually really important tip is that while you get Dream Evolution Stones from missions and events, don't spend them on heroes. Really don't spend them on heroes. Spend them on these, okay? The ones you get from events, spend them on normal hero evolution stones. These will play a very nice role into slowly, you know, it's going to be a slow process, but they're going to play a nice slow role into letting you start evolving your normal heroes, which are the 1-stars. However, if you're new, don't do it. This is only if you're a mid-game player. If you're new, use the evolutions, use the Dream Evolution Stones you get from your missions and events to buy the hero evolution stones you need, but don't ever buy these with hero crystals. It is so not worth it. It's a scam. It's a massive fraud. It's a corrupted industry, okay? Don't do it. Just don't buy it. But the ones you get from events, if you're new, feel free to spend it on hero evolution stones. And if you're a mid-game player, I highly recommend you go for the normal evolution stones. And if you're an end-game player and you haven't done so, you're kind of trolling, man, okay? But yeah, that's it for the video. I know this is really short, but this is really how much I can cover, because most of it's just a process that you just build up over time and you have to understand the game for it. I can't really tell you some magical trick that's going to get you all the coffee and gold that you need for it. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. I will see you all within the next one.